Welcome to another episode of Touring History, and if you look right behind me, you see that we're in the middle of a Publix shopping center. Then, as we turn this, we look right here is the cemetery in the middle of a Publix shopping center. And a little bit about this cemetery. It's called Violin Cemetery. It has two Civil War veterans that are buried here, and we'll take a look at them. So this area here is about 25 by 25, and this area here used to be called Violin, the city of Violin. There's a little town, and it started in the 1880s. Was called Inglewood at first, and then they changed the name to Violin. And they brought in a little railroad. They had a post office, but the town slowly went away when in 1940 they closed the post office, and 1960 they took out the railroad tracks. So let's take a quick look here as we try to get in here and look at this area here. So it's called Violin Cemetery. There used to be 4 people that were buried here, and then there were eventually 2 of them were taken back to their families. So these are 2 Civil War veterans, and this place will be preserved. One was Corporal Washington Ludwig, I believe his first name was. He was a light infantry out of New York. He was actually, during the Civil War, he was actually shot in the head and survived that wound, and would later die in around 1917 or so. And so he survived his wound and ended up in 1864. Got out of the military, obviously, because of his injury. And so he survived and ended up being buried here. That's Corporal Ludwig, a light infantry in New York. Then we have the other veteran who died around 1917. Foster, we see here, is out of Massachusetts. He was actually had a leg injury during the Civil War, injured in the leg, and ended up surviving that wound. Married a woman from Virginia, and they moved here to Florida and settled down here in Florida. They didn't have any children here, but this cemetery was officially established in 1924. Though they died before that, so they were moved here. And this place they've been buried here since the 1917, somewhere around that period of time. And that cemetery was all around here, was all woods. And then the owner, which owned 5 acres, he sold the property to Publix and told them if they bought he still owns the cemetery, but told them if they buy this property that they'd have to maintain this cemetery. So we're here with these 2 Civil War veterans who fought in the Civil War for New York, out of New York and out of Massachusetts, that are buried here at Violin Cemetery here now, currently in the Orlando area. This is literally about 5 minutes from Disney World. Interesting cemetery inside of the Publix shopping center. Thank you for joining us on this trip on Touring History.